Let's talk about the game between Arsenal and Manchester United. The game has come and gone. The game has won and lost as well. But a lot of talking points keep emanating from that game. For Manchester United, if you see the way they are right now, it's a case of a man who is down that fear no fall. So they can act like a spoiler to so many teams. And that's why in the last two games they play against Manchester City and as well against Arsenal, especially that game against Man City, they beat them 2-0 and they dash the hope of Man City for Premier League. They dash it and they give it to Arsenal, and the following week they come against Arsenal and they took that the same hope they gave to them to back to the Man City. So Man United can act like a spoiler, because if you look at the way they are right now, nothing much for them to play for. They are not in Champions League, they are not in Europa Cup. Domestically, they are not in FA Cup, they are knocked out of FA Cup, they are also knocked out of the Carabao Cup. So the only thing they are fighting for right now, the only realistic thing they are fighting for right now, is to try as much as possible to finish top four. That is what they have now, because the Premier League title is out of their reach right now, because if you look at the point differential between them and Arsenal to a point, so it's going to take like 7 wonders of the world for them to catch up Arsenal, a miracle for them to catch up Arsenal. So for Man United, the only realistic chance for them now is to try as much as possible to finish top four so that they can play a Champions League next season. So you can see that this season they're going to play the fewest numbers of games since 1910. It tells you how terrible this season is for Man United. So they need to try as much as possible to salvage their season by finish top four. And if you look at the kind of spirit in the camp of Man United, you can say there's that kind of a rejuvenating spirit in the camp of Man United since the arrival of Michael Carrick. But for me, as a fan of Man United, I want to be consciously anticipating for what is going to happen with Man United, because if you look at Man United over the years, when they play against big team, they normally perform well. In fact, big team is not really a problem for Man United, but this so-called middle table team are being a problem to Man United. In fact, this season alone, some of the games they lost this season and some of the games they drew this season, it come against some of those so-called middle table teams right there at Old Trafford. Team like Brighton, team like Everton, team like West Ham, team like Bournemouth. So for me, I want to wait and see them play against some of those so-called middle table teams, 2 or 3 games. If they can beat them, if they can create chances and beat them, then I can say that Michael Carrick have something to offer differently, because some of those teams, they will not necessarily come out to play against Manchester United. They will sit back and try to play counter-attack. So I want to see Manchester United come against them, break their defense line and score goal. If they can do that, then I will now say that indeed Man United have come back to what we know them for a long time. But for Arsenal, some are saying Arsenal do not play well on the night. For me, I don't think so. They play well. It's a case of one team that actually implement their tactics very, very well against them. In this case, Manchester United, they implement their tactics very, very well against Arsenal, especially in that second half of the game. They do not allow Arsenal to dominate the midfield, because Arsenal is a team that like to hold ball, like to play ball. And if you don't allow them to have access to that midfield, you're going to actually create a lot of problem for them. And that's what happened in that second half of the game. And if you look at the goals that Man United score, especially the second goal and the third goal, it's not a problem of anybody. That goal can come against anybody, not the problem of the keeper or the defender. Man United player, they know quite well that, hey, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to break through the back line of Arsenal, so they have to try something different, and that is to play a shot from the outside 18, and they try that. It worked for them on the night. That what happened. Not because Arsenal do not play well. We know Arsenal, it's a very, very good team. You just tell me, when was the last time Arsenal conceded 3 goals at home in a game of football? When was the last time they conceded 3 goals in the Premier League? It's been a long time. So you can see that it was a very, very tricky game for them on the night. That is why they do not win that game. And Man United, they don't have anything to lose. So they play only one game throughout the week. They play either on Saturday or on Sunday, and they go back and relax for training, and then they relax and wait for another 7 days to come for them to play another game. So they have to give all, like, hey, this is my last game. They have to give all, and they have no excuses to give. They have to go all out and play football. So anything that is coming against them now is going to be pretty difficult for any team to beat them if Man United will continue this way. But as I say, let's keep our finger crossed and see how they're going to play against some of those so-called middle table teams. That is what I'm waiting for. I want to see them come against Brighton, against Bournemouth, against Everton or Burnley, against some of those middle table teams. Even Tottenham. Let's see how Manchester United will play against some of those teams that will sit back and do not come out to play football. Hey, go out and break their defense line and then create chances and score goal. There now we now realize and now say that indeed, hey, Michael Carrick have something different to offer Manchester United. So I want to be consciously anticipating for what is going to happen to Man United this season. Whatever that happens, but let them try as much as possible for to make top four. That is what we are saying for them to do for us as a fans of Man United. Hey, make sure that you finish top four. That is what we're saying. Thank you.